Hello there and welcome. So, are you ready to start learning English? Maybe you really want to learn, but you just don't know where to begin. Learning a new language, well, it can feel like a huge challenge. But please, don't you worry. We are here to help you out. In this lesson, we're going to build a very simple and a very clear roadmap just for you. We're going to take your first steps in English together, one single step at a time. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. Okay. First things first, let's make sure you're in the right spot. As you can see on the slide, this is for the absolute beginner. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, an absolute beginner is a learner with very little or maybe even zero previous English instruction. It means you are at the very start of your journey. If this sounds like you, then you are in the perfect place. We designed this lesson just for you, and we're going to go slowly and learn each new thing very carefully. So here's our plan, our map for this lesson. First, we'll talk about what it means to be an absolute beginner. Then, we'll get into your first building blocks. These are the absolute basics. After that, in Section 3, we'll learn some words for describing your world. Section 4 is where we start making simple sentences. In Section 5, we'll practice asking basic questions. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by looking at your foundation and everything you've learned. See how each step just builds right on top of the last one? It's a great path. So let's kick things off with Section 1, who is an absolute beginner? Really, this is all about validating our starting point. I really want you to know that starting from zero, from the very beginning, is completely okay. Actually, it's a great place to start. And why is that? Because you get to build a strong, correct foundation without any bad habits. This whole guide is made for a slow, careful, step-by-step pace so you can learn everything the right way without feeling confused or rushed. There's actually an official name for the absolute beginner level. It's called A1. You can see it right here on the slide. It's that first step at the bottom. Think of learning English kind of like building a house. The A1 level is the foundation. It's that solid concrete base you pour first. And you have to build that foundation really well so that the rest of the house can be strong. So, A1 is your solid base for absolutely everything else you're going to learn in English. Now, the most important idea for today is right here on this slide. For beginners, the key is simplicity. Let's say that word out loud together. Ready? Simplicity. It just means we're going to keep everything simple and easy. We start with the basics. We are not going to learn difficult, complicated things today. And that's because starting with the simple basics is how you build your confidence. We're not in a race. We're going to learn the most important, simple things first. That's our promise to you. Okay? You ready to move on? Let's dive into our second section. Here, we're going to gather your first building blocks. So what are building blocks? Well, they're those small, essential pieces you need to build something big, right? In this section, we're going to learn the absolute essentials of English, the alphabet, some basic greetings, and numbers. These are the very first tools you need in your toolbox before you can start building sentences. All right, our very first building block is the English alphabet. Knowing the alphabet is the key to reading and writing. So first, I'm just going to say all the letters. Please just listen. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now let's practice together. I'm going to say a letter and then I'll pause. In that pause, I want you to repeat the letter out loud. Ready? Let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Excellent. Let's keep going. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Very good. We're almost there. O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, and the last few, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Wonderful. That is the English alphabet. I want you to try and practice this every day. Now that we know our letters, let's learn some words. We'll start with some basic greetings. These are the words we use to say hello and goodbye. Look at that first one. It's hello. This is the most common greeting you can use. You can use it in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. It's always a good choice. Listen to how I say it. Hello. Now you repeat after me. Hello. One more time. Hello. Very good. Next up is a question. How are you? We ask this to be friendly. Listen carefully. How are you? Together now. How are you? Your turn. How are you? Excellent. Now, when you leave, you can say goodbye. This is a nice, polite way to end a conversation. Listen, goodbye. Your turn. Goodbye. Perfect. And the last one on our list is for the very end of the day, right before sleep. We say good night. Listen, good night. Please repeat. Good night. Fantastic. Let's just say them all one more time. Hello? How are you? Goodbye. Good night. Now, let's actually use those new words in a small conversation. This is how you can introduce yourself. So first, you say hello. What do we say? Hello, that's right. Then you say your name. You say, I am, and then your name. So I would say, I am host's name. Now it's your turn. I want you to say, I am, and then your name. Go ahead. I am. Very good. So after you give your name, you can ask for their name. You ask, what is your name? Let's practice that. Listen, what is your name? Now you say it. What is your name? Excellent. And when they tell you their name, you can say something really friendly. You say, nice to meet you. This is very polite. Listen to how it sounds. Nice to meet you. Let's say it together. Nice to meet you. One more time for practice. Nice to meet you. Great job. See, you can already introduce yourself in English. Our next building block is numbers. Numbers are so important, right? We use them all day, every day. So let's learn how to count from 1 to 10. I'm going to say each number, and I want you to repeat after me. We'll go nice and slow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Let's say them all together one more time, from 1 to 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful work. Let's keep going. Now we're going to learn the numbers from 11 to 20. Some of these sound a little bit different, so listen carefully. I'll say the number and you repeat. Ready? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Fantastic. You know, that was a little more difficult, but you did a really great job. Let's say them all together one more time. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we know how to count all the way to 20, but how do we get to 100? Well, believe me, it's way easier than you think. After 20, there's a simple pattern. We just count by tens. So please listen and then repeat after me. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and finally, 100. See? The pattern is pretty simple. So to say a number like 21, you just combine the words. You say 20, 1. For 35, you say 30, 5. For 68, you say 60, 8. You can now say any number all the way up to 100. That is a very, very useful skill. Okay, let's move on to section 3, describing your world. We have our basic building blocks, right? We have letters, numbers, and greetings. So now we can learn how to use words to name and describe the world all around us. This is where English starts to get really fun and really useful. So to talk about people and things, we use these special little words called subject pronouns. These words are so important in English because they replace names, like Maria or the table. Let's learn them one by one. Please listen and then repeat after me. I. We use I to talk about yourself. I. You. We use you to talk about the person you're speaking to. You. He. We use he for a man or a boy. He. She. We use she for a woman or a girl. She. It. We use it for a thing or an animal. It. We. We use we for a group of people that includes you. We. They. And we use they for a group of other people or things. They. Let's repeat them all together one last time. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Please try to memorize these words. They are absolutely essential. So we have words for people, like he and she. But what if we want to say more about them? For this, we use special words called adjectives. An adjective is just a describing word. It describes a person or a thing. For example, is something big or small, red or blue, happy or sad? All of those words, big, small, red, blue, happy, sad, they're all adjectives. They're like the spices you add to your food. They make our sentences so much more colorful and interesting. The first and easiest adjectives to learn are colors. So let's learn 6 basic colors together. I'll say the color and you please repeat. Red, like a red car. Blue, like a blue sky. Green, like green grass. Yellow, like the yellow sun. Black, like a black cat. White, like white snow. Now, I want you to notice something very, very important in English. We say a red car. We do not say a car red. In English, the adjective, the color, comes before the thing it describes. This is a really important rule. First the adjective, then the thing. A blue sky, a black cat. Now, let's learn 4 super useful words for pointing to things. Look at the left side of the slide. If something is close to you, you use the words this and here. So, if a book is right here, in your hand, you can say, this book is here. Let's practice those words. Repeat after me. This. Here. Now look at the right side. If something is far away from you, you use the words that and there. For example, if that same book is on a table across the room, you can say, that book is there. Let's practice those. Repeat after me. That, there. So the rule is simple, right? For things close to you, this and here. For things far from you, that and there. You are making absolutely wonderful progress. So now we move to section 4, making simple sentences. We have all of our building blocks. We have pronouns like I and he. We have adjectives like blue. We have words like this and that. Now, it's time to put them all together. We are going to learn how to make our very first simple sentences in English. This is exciting. The really good news is that basic sentences in English have a very simple and logical structure. The most common order is subject, then verb, then object. We call this SVO. So what do these mean? Well, the subject is the person or thing doing something. The verb is the action word, and the object is the thing that receives the action. For example, I like English. I is the subject, like is the verb, English is the object. Subject, verb, object. I like English. This is the basic pattern for most sentences you'll make in English. To make our first simple sentences, we need one very special verb. It is absolutely the most important verb for beginner to learn, and that is the verb to be. Now, to be is special because it usually doesn't show an action like run or eat. It shows, well, existence or a state. It describes what something is or what something is like. It's the verb that helps us connect a subject like he with a description like tall. Now, the verb to be is a little bit tricky because it changes its form for each subject pronoun. You just have to memorize these pairs. They're like a team. They always go together. Let's look at the chart on the slide and practice them nice and slow. Please repeat after me. I am. You are. He is. She is. It is. We are. They are. Excellent. Let's do that again. This time, I'll say the full pair and you repeat. I am. You are. He is. She is. It is. We are. They are. This is one of the most important things to learn as a beginner, so please practice this table every day until you know it perfectly. And just like that, we can make full sentences. We can combine our subject pronouns, the correct form of to be, and the other words we've learned. Let's look at these examples. The first one, I am a student. See? We're saying who I am, subject I, with the verb am. The second one, he is tall. Here, we're describing a person. He is the subject, is the verb, and tall is our adjective. And look at the third one. It is a blue pen. We're describing a thing, and we're using a color we learned. And the last one, we are here. This tells us our location, using that word here we just practiced. You see, you can now combine all the pieces to make real English sentences. This is a really big step. Okay, now that you can make statements, let's learn how to ask for information. You know, a good conversation isn't just about talking, is it? It's also about asking and about listening. Questions are really the key to communication. So, the big question is, how do we ask for information? How do we make a question? Well, in English, it's often very simple. We use special question words right at the very beginning of the sentence, and these words tell the other person what kind of information we want. So, let's learn what they are. Here they are, the most important question words in English. You'll notice most of them start with the letters WH. Let's go through them one by one. Please listen and then repeat. What? We use what to ask about things. What? Where? We use where to ask about a place. Where? Who? We use who to ask about a person. Who? When? We use when to ask about time. When? Why? We use why to ask for a reason. Why? And the last one's a little different. How? We use how to ask about the way something is. How? Let's say them all together one more time. What? Where? Who? When? Why? And how? And hey, look at that. We can now use these question words to ask some very common and very useful questions. And in fact, we already practiced the first two when we learned our greetings. Let's try them again. The first one, what is your name? Repeat after me, what is your name? The second one, how are you? Repeat after me, how are you? Now let's learn a new one. To ask about a person's country or city, we ask, where are you from? Listen carefully. Where are you from? Let's say it together. Where are you from? With just these three questions, you can start a basic conversation with anyone in English. It's amazing. And here we are at our final section, your foundation for conversation. Let's just pause for a moment and look back at everything you've learned. You started from zero as an absolute beginner. But now you have a real, solid foundation in English. You have the skills you need to start a simple conversation. Let's just review your new abilities. I want you to think about what you can do right now that you couldn't do before. First, you can introduce yourself. You can say hello and give your name. Hello, I am. Second, you can count all the way from 1 to 100. Third, you can describe simple objects. You can use colors and say something like, it is a red book. And fourth, you can ask basic questions to start a conversation with anyone. You can ask, what is your name and how are you? This is a fantastic achievement for just one lesson. You really should be very proud of yourself. It's really important to understand that everything we did today was designed to give you a strong base to build on. This isn't just a random list of words. It's a system. Everything you learned, the alphabet, the numbers, the pronouns, the verb to be, is like a strong brick in your foundation. And now you can start building the next level of your English knowledge right on top of this strong base. So we've given you a map for your first steps in English. You have the alphabet, numbers, greetings, pronouns, adjectives, and the basic recipe for sentences and questions. You have the tools and you have the map. So the only question left is the one you see right there on the screen. Now that you have the map, what will you explore first? Remember to keep practicing every single day. Be patient with yourself. And most importantly, have fun on your journey of learning English. Thank you so much for learning with us today. Goodbye for now.